Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. This is the SillyVille edition. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you want to catch the show live. And before we jump on in, my new science fiction novel, Synaptergy, is starting to roll out. You can head on over to the website, synaptergy.com or tlm.li/s, and you can find out all of the places where you can pick it up. I am rolling this out to all of the global, worldwide online bookstores. So anywhere where you buy books, wherever you happen to be, you should be able to find a copy. I'm updating this list as I can, and wherever I find a new place to pick up the book, and I will specify where you can get the book or which formats it's available in those locations. You can grab the newsletter over here, or if you want to, you can listen to the first 5 minutes of the book down here on the bottom of the page. Just go ahead and click the little blue play button up here on SoundCloud, and you can go ahead and have a listen. So on to the SillyVille news of the day. Samsung launches a $2,000 rotating TV in the United States for smartphone-loving millennials. Take me now! Just take me now! Why? Why on earth would you do this to yourself? Why? So you get rotating the TV. Okay. Back in, we talked about this before. They unveiled a TV that was very different that rotates 90 degrees so users can watch smartphone content in its native portrait mode. Now the television is available for $2,000. Hey, I can get a Librem 5 phone or a rotating millennial safe TV. I don't know. Are you a customer? Let me know in the comments down below. Give me the pros and the cons down there. All right. Dallas police asked for public videos of protesters. It didn't go well. Okay. Public service announcement to you, government officials. Don't put up a hotline for people to send you information. You're going to get more human anatomy than you want to see. Okay? You're going to get a whole lot of things you don't want to see. Of course, they got so inundated very quickly, their server crashed down, just like New York's snitch line crashed down. What did they mostly get? K-pop videos. Go figure. I don't know. Of course, that's just torture. All these things feed into a central location where you have to search these guys out, see if they're valid. Guys, anytime that you're asking for users of the world to submit to you photos via a smartphone app, stop asking. You're not going to like what you get. It's not going to be a valid service. I mean, really. Dallas, what are you doing? I think Dallas has lost its ever-loving mind. If any police department has made an argument for having issues that need to be solved, it might be Dallas. I mean, ever watch A&E SWAT? Of course, they start the Dallas SWAT. I think they have another one in, like, is it Kansas or something? Kansas City SWAT. They go on these BA police shows and all these things. Of course, they start out with all suspects are innocent until proven guilty, which is why you blasted through their house with a tank, threw in a flashbang grenade, and jumped in with assault rifles, and you're wondering why people are rioting in the streets. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. You stop doing that, and people wouldn't have much to complain about now, would they? Oh, but still, like a cavity in my tooth that I can, it still hurts. I have to watch every show that comes out on YouTube. I'm compelled to continue to watch these SWAT guys burst down people's houses in no-knock warrants with full military gusto to take down a pothead. That's why people are rioting in the streets, folks. For the most part, police stations don't do what Dallas does. I mean, really. Just a thought. Don't worry, guys. We're going to yell at the rioters, too. I am an equal opportunity offender around here. All right, I'm just sitting on the sidelines, laughing about all this. I know where I'm going, and this might be the end times. Get yourself right with the Lord. All right, Americans are drinking bleach and dunking food into it to prevent COVID-19. Okay, the first thing is, guys, unless you're like over 65 with multiple comorbidities, COVID-19 is not that dangerous. And by the way, for all you YouTube mods, that's according to the Centers for Disease Control. Last week, it was 2 weeks ago, I think. It was May 20th was the last update I saw. They might have a new update by now. They released the Centers for Disease Control here in Atlanta, Georgia. Not here where I am. I'm in State College. But in the United States, in Atlanta, Georgia, they released their epidemiology report, which basically said from 0 to 60, death rate is less than half of the flu. It's slightly more than half of the flu, excuse me. Which, by the way, is infinitely safer for the flu because the flu has a beginning tail of death as well. 50 to 65, it jumps up to right about the flu. And from 65 up, it's about 3 or 4 times the flu. Americans, please stop dipping stuff in bleach. It's not safe for you. Okay, unless you're 60 or above 65, you don't have a lot to worry about. Oh boy, go look at your facts. For all these people like, we're following the science, not the politics. Well, then follow the science, for crying out loud. All right. Thanks, Sam McLeod, for this late-minute edition. Apparently here in Pennsylvania, in Warren area and in Newcastle area, there were several power outages that were caused by drive-by graduation parties. If there's ever a reason to end the lockdowns and allow people to go and have graduation parties, it's to prevent this from happening. So people were going by in parade format, throwing balloons out their cars as a graduation party for their friends' houses who have graduated. You do that with little rubber balloons, not a lot of problem. I mean, Greta might say, how dare you? But if you do this with metal balloons, they get caught on power lines and short circuit things and blow fuses and cause major power outages. So all across Pennsylvania and maybe other places as well, power outages were caused by people leaving metal helium balloons up into the sky. So there you go. There's a thought. All right, now on to the looters. We've already talked about how stupid the police can be. Now let's talk about how stupid the looters can be. Now, you guys that went out and did your peaceful protests and all you did is held some signs and said, hey, we need to do something. Hey, kudos to you. I'm very happy that you guys went out and hopefully you left the places cleaner than you started it in, and you did your little signs and you had your little protests and you went home, and I'm all for that. For all you morons who went out and set buildings on fire in your own community and put your own people out of work, would you guys please crawl under a rock somewhere and leave society alone for the rest of us? But these guys are so much idiots, they don't even realize that derpy phones can be tracked. And they were going in there, and the highest priority stores were the Apple stores. So they go in there, smash all the windows, take the iPhones back. I got me my new free iPhone. Yeah, the iPhones, by the way, on display, all you looters who apparently don't have 3 brain cells rubbing together, these guys actually have software on them that if they leave the presence of the iPhone store, they lock themselves and then they turn on a homing beacon so everyone can find them. Now, of course, because every company is going woke crazy, they're probably going to be looking at these going, we'll turn these on because these peaceful protesters, they're just oppressed. I hope that doesn't happen, but it very well might, and it wouldn't surprise me in our current scene. But Apple has long used anti-theft measures, and so the looters who stole Apple devices from stores, they might be coming to find their Apple devices, so go and probably put them in your neighbor's backyard or something. I don't know. Or, hey, why don't you send them back to the store or whatever else. So individuals with phones allegedly looted from Apple stores found that the phones... Okay, guys, okay, I understand the term for allegedly, but if a phone was taken from the Apple store and it says this, it wasn't allegedly looted, okay? It was factually looted. But anyway, I digress. Individuals with iPhones allegedly looted from Apple stores found that phones were automatically disabled and had messages like the following. Please return to Apple Walnut Street. This device has been disabled and is being tracked. Local authorities will be alerted. Of course, you're asking for the disbandment of the police, so I don't know who's going to show up, But, you know. Anti-theft measures are not Apple's only focus among civil unrest. Bloomberg required a memo sent by Apple CEO Tim Cook to employees that constitute the company's official response to killing of George Floyd. Among other things, they wrote, the painful past is still present today, not only the form of violence, but an everyday exposure to deeply rooted discrimination. We see in our criminal justice system disproportionate toll of black on brown communities and inequalities in neighborhood services and educations our children receive. While laws have changed, reality is their protections have not. Okay. He added, today Apple's making donations to a number of groups, including, I think I accidentally cut this article. It was supposed to be in there, and I'm remembering it now. Including Equal Justice Initiative, a nonprofit committed to challenging racial injustice. Okay, that one's fine. Ending mass incarceration and protecting human rights. Okay, the article I was thinking about was there's actually a bunch of companies calling like, hey, you need to support this fund to get the protesters out of jail. Bail out the protesters. No, people, these were not protesters. These were looters and rioters. We don't need to donate money to get thugs back on the streets. Okay? We just don't. Okay? If you went out there and you're in a peaceful protest and you're holding a sign, awesome. Good for you. You're practicing your constitutional rights. If you're busting down windows and stealing stuff, go to jail for a while, please. Please. Very interesting. But, for all of this, I mean, I don't know. Let you guys think about all this kind of stuff. I realize this is kind of weird. I realize we're in a divisive time in our society, but the reality is if we all just sit down and calm down a little bit, we wouldn't be in these issues. We wouldn't be in these problems, but there's just too much evidence of too many people intentionally inciting riots all over the place that, to me, our cities are being burnt down, and that's a bad thing. Because you're putting a lot of people out of work who are not corporatists, who are simply small business owners, who are just trying to make our world a better place. And all you're doing is just destroying their livelihoods. So we just need to calm down and chill out and all this kind of stuff. So those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on all these in the comments down below.